but you didn't.
She goes, smile.
Hello. All right, so we're just gonna recap on day 3, sort of. But yesterday.
Well, day 2.
All right.
Really?
It's day 2 recap on day 3. But having a comp, of course, I've had all the emotions and all of those things, and yeah, it is a bittersweet moment to be that close to first and sort of lose it right at the end there. But every loss, there's a lesson to be learned, so that's all I can take from that. And I've got other things to go back home and work on. And overall, this is one of the best performances in my strongman career, despite if the results on the podium don't show it. So I think it's showing that I'm only getting better, I'm only getting stronger. There's so many other things I can work on that will just make me get better and better. So just gonna keep chugging away, keep training hard. And thank you everyone for just sharing my posts and sharing pretty much just the love and the outpour of love towards me and the support towards my career and the belief in me and what I'm capable of, even when sometimes I don't believe in myself. It's definitely well felt, and we're gonna come back even harder. Chew!
Let's go.
Sorry, Katie. Looks like you're gonna be the only child for a while. Alright, what is up? It is Angelica Jardine here, and I am finally doing my Arnold's recap. At the time of filming this, it's about like a little over a week now, and I should have done this sooner, but at the same time, I sort of was just really enjoying being in the moment at the Arnold's this year, surrounded by really good friends and my coach and just a really good supportive system. So near the end there, was just got a little hard with filming and everything. But also, I think I just wanted to give a more genuine recap. I'm super happy about every event. I pretty much got a PR on my deadlift. I sort of called it exactly where, on our Big Dog podcast, I sort of called it where I thought I would do 16, which was about a 15-pound PR from last year. Honestly, I'm still unsure of my deadlift ability because in training, I don't really hit, that was like 30 pounds heavier than I ever hit in training. So to do 30 pounds more, I mean, that's just such a large number for me. From training to comp, that was, I just surprised myself every time. But I was super happy to hit that PR. Every time I've gone to the Arnold, I've been able to hit a new PR, and it's just, out of all places to hit a PR, that's probably one of the coolest places to hit a deadlift PR. Circus dumbbell event, I missed the 185, which was my personal goal of going out there, is I wanted to hit 185. I hit it on a different dumbbell in training, so, and even then, I do think that potentially I could have got it had I maybe, some technical things there that switched up, but I think it was a good call for me to go back to that 180 to get that, because just not knowing what anyone else was capable of and knowing that at this point, like, I need to collect as many points as I was as possible. So overall, hitting 180 for 2, that's a working set PR. I've never hit that number for 2. So I'll take that as a win, and I'm just really excited I hope there is more Circus dumbbell and heavier Circus dumbbell events to come, because I'd really love to push that event. Lastly, the Stone event, I came into this competition saying that's the one event that I wanted to win. I felt like I needed to win. Just because, I mean, simply put, like, I just feel like that's my stone.
That's my purse!
Like, I honestly, I haven't told a lot of people, but, like, I have that stone tatted on my wrist because it was, like, one of my breakthrough moments in my career. And you really can't notice that it's a stone because it's a damn rock, and all rocks sort of look the same. But the stone is on my wrist here, just because it is just a, like I said, like, it's like a breakthrough moment in my career. All right, so day 2, I came in and, I knew I had a little bit of a lead. I am one of those athletes who doesn't really check the scores. I don't really care to know about the scores because personally for me, I mean, I have a coach that sort of helps tracks that, but also I can't really psych myself out. Like, there's been many times where I was fighting from the bottom on day 1 and I was able to come back day 2. So I'm a really big believer in anything can happen day 2. Like, yeah, I had a great day 1, but we've just got to try and use that momentum and that hype and go into day 2, because if I don't, like, now's not the time to take your foot off the pedal. So yes, I was happy with day 1, but day 2 I came in knowing that, like, I was going to need to put it all out on there, and I feel like I was able to do that. Just that each event I truly left everything out there. Like, I don't think there was much more I could have done at that current moment. So with the stone drag, I was just impressed with myself at the end. Like, at the end, there was a little bit of surprise. I just remember pulling, and just thinking, like, oh my goodness, when is this going to end? And I wasn't expecting to hear the whistle as soon as I did hear it. And that was a little bit of surprise, like, oh, thank goodness, like, because in training, that sort of, it went really well. And then the last extra feet, that's where I just tremendously did a nice slope. So I feel like that length, it's sort of, I got through it right before I would hit a wall. But no, there was a lot of mental affirmations in that one, and I just needed to start the day strong. Wasn't expecting to win that event truly, but not mad at it.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
That was super cool. And then the next event was the log press, and I am starting to find myself to be really competitive with the overhead press, just because I really like the overhead press. I think it's so cool. I just overall enjoy overhead press training. So I knew that this event was more so going to be a conditioning issue, and I'm really stoked because this was just another event where I hit exactly what I wanted to hit in training. I gave myself a goal of, I want to hit that reps. I seen Andrea Thompson. She won that event with 5 in 2023. And so I was like, all right, I didn't know if that was going to win the event, but I knew that'd be good points if I could hit 5 on that log. And so being able to hit that 5 was already a win. I will say, though, it was a little relieving finding out that the log was actually 260 and not 270. So, that was also a little nice. I performed as best as I could. I got exactly the number of reps I wanted, and that was a brutal event. I was actually really nervous in the back warming up. I was getting super lightheaded, and just after that drag, I still felt a little fatigued. So a little nervous, and like, it just felt like things were moving a little quick, and I think that's fine, but as soon as I would like warm down, it was like a little bit time to warm up, and it was like, you'd think like an hour. I don't know, time was just moving really quickly. And then the last event, so again, I don't really have any idea where I was in standings. I knew that, I was up there, and then like, and then it was like, all right, you're 2 points ahead, and I was like, 2 points, that could be a lot, that could be a little bit ahead. It was only a little lead, and all I really needed to do was like, just be fast, and, I really didn't know how fast I needed to be, and I don't really think it would have mattered, because either way, it didn't matter how fast I needed to be. It just mattered that I finished it as quick as I possibly could, and hope that time was quick enough to be as fast as I needed to be. And unfortunately, I just wasn't that quick enough. Some pros from that is, one, I got through all of the events, all of the sandbags up the ramp, and I was super chill. And it was super cool that I was able to do that. In training, I did about that on flat surface in about 55 seconds. I found it, and then this time, I shaped like 49 seconds or something like that. And so that was like a little PR there. Being able to go work through an entire event was a really big PR. Yeah, that event's probably gonna haunt me for a little bit.
Emotional damage.
It was a bittersweet event, but at the end of the day, I sort of called this, again, reference our Big Dog Pack podcast, where it's like, if any were to win, I'd be so happy to see Oka win. So, yeah, I was a little sad, and I think any like competitor, or when you're just that close and you feel it like literally lose it right in front of you, like you're gonna have feelings, if especially if it's something that I've been working towards and you've been working towards, and those things are gonna happen. But at the end of the day, I still was just so excited for Olga. She said this thing where like we were coming down the elevator. We had came down the elevator together, and on the same time at day 2, like I had walked to the elevator and she was in the elevator already. We came down together. So after comp, she's like, I feel like this was like some type of like that was a blessing. I knew that something good, like her I don't know, maybe her beating me or something good was gonna come for her, like us seeing each other on the elevator. So I thought that was really cool to feel like she felt that, and I felt genuinely happy for her. Like I said, like Olga's just been one of those competitors who's so consistent, and in my mind is one of the best to truly do it, and to show that she's only getting stronger still at the age. I mean, she's not that old. Sorry, Olga.
I didn't mean it like that.
But still, to be over 40, or barely to be 40 and still getting strong, I think, that's just inspirational. So just gotta give my flowers to Olga, because she really did the thing, and it just really shows. I think one of the biggest, coolest things was that she won without winning any events. And it just shows like you don't have to be the best at anything. You just gotta be good at everything, and Olga is good at everything. But overall, that was a really good time. Afterward, we went to Waffle House and got to celebrate and just made some really cool memories. And I think this is just something that is going to push all 3 of us, and not even all 3 of us, like the entire competition, the entire lineup, even, the pro-ams coming into the pros, like, we're just getting freaking stronger, and we're only going to get stronger, and I think it's really cool to see all of that happening and to be part of this era. So, thanks for tuning in. If you watched this long, thank you so much for watching this long. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be having more stuff. I'll be sharing a little bit more of what I've got next, because I am taking a long off season, but I will have some other things coming up. So glad to include you guys in on that. So please like, comment, subscribe to follow along. Cheers.